Hey everybody, Aaron Cowan with Sage Dynamics, and this is the Sage Dynamics review of the Black Rain Ordnance Fallout 15 AR-15 rifle. Alright, so the Black Rain Fallout 15. Black Rain sent this out to me, pre-lubricated it, took it to the range, put 2,000 rounds through it. Why did I pre-lubricate? I don't believe that you should test a weapon without lubrication in it. If a firearm functions, especially if you run it hard with no lubrication, chances are the tolerances in it are so loose that it's not going to be an accurate weapon. So pre-lubricated with some snake oil that All-Star Tactical sent out to me. And then I put 2,000 rounds through it. Mostly Wolf, also some Fiocchi, PMC, and some Gold Dot. I used mostly Wolf because I wanted to use the dirtiest ammo I could find. In that 2,000 rounds, I experienced 3 non-ammunition related malfunctions. 3 double feeds, and those were all in the last 300 rounds of testing. What does that tell me? It tells me that after 1,700 rounds and some of the abuse that I put this rifle through, I was surprised it didn't malfunction sooner. I personally believe that that's a testament to Black Rain's quality, and that's what really sells me on this rifle. Are there things I don't like about it? Let's get that right out of the way. I don't like the fact that in this configuration I have to use a 1-point sling. I hate 1-point slings. I'm a 2-point sling kind of guy. With this particular rail, I don't have an option for another attachment. While we're speaking about the rail, second thing I don't like. The only place I can put Picatinny 1913 is up here. Front, top, left, and right. Third thing, again the rail, I don't have enough rail space here to mount some particular accessories. If I want to run a D-ball or something like that, I don't have enough rail space for it. I'm very limited by this particular rail. However, there is good news because Black Rain offers multiple configurations and different rails, so if you find you don't like this rail either, you can get one that has all the rail space you want, modular, and I believe they have a key mod coming out soon. Black Rain is a company. This rifle is made in the USA by parts made in the USA. Almost 100% of the parts on this rifle are made in the United States. Black Rain's proprietary upper and lower. Their barrel, I don't know of too many parts, actual major foundation parts in this rifle that aren't manufactured by Black Rain. That's impressive. There's a lot of AR-15 companies out there that just build their rifles out of other people's parts and slap their name on them. Nothing wrong with that, but it is nice to see a company that builds what I would consider I hate to use the word tier, but a higher tier rifle. Where is it on quality? 1,700 rounds without a malfunction, running Wolf. I mean, that speaks to the reliability of the rifle, and as you'll see in this video, I ran the gun really, really hard. Alright, so everybody who's seen my reviews before, read my review articles or whatever, knows I like to keep things as realistic as possible. I didn't push the bounds of realism with this rifle. I did abuse it, probably more so than you would if you were to purchase one, and if you're in the market, I highly recommend it. I didn't want to get outside of the realm of possibilities. So I ran 2,000 rounds through it without cleaning. Would you do that? Hopefully not, but is there a chance that it could happen? Or if you're running a class or something like that, it's entirely possible that you might experience that kind of hard use on your rifle. So it's good to know, I just proved it, that the rifle's capable of it. I didn't do any kind of fantasy tests because most people are not going to abuse the things they spend their hard-earned money on. You rely on people to review products, so you don't have to put your rifle through that kind of abuse, or whatever piece of gear we're talking about through that kind of abuse.
Rolling.
Get down with it! so the Black Rain, very, very lightweight rifle. Obviously, you're going to add attachments to it. You're going to put it. You should at least put a light on it and run an optic, either an aim point or you know, a vortex or what have you. I went with a Trijicon RMR, the 3.5 MOA, because it's a true size dot, and I wanted to keep the rifle as light as possible. Plus, the rail space is a little limited, so I didn't have a whole lot of options. Put an N-Force on it, just, you know, to get that feel for the rifle, get the ergonomics down, and then I ran it really, really, really hard. Even today, I've been on the range for 6 hours as of right now, and I've pretty much been wearing the rifle the entire time. You're going to notice the weight, but it's not going to be so heavy as to fatigue you. A lot of people probably won't carry that rifle for that period of time, but I think one thing that you'll definitely appreciate about the Black Rain is the fact that it's not a heavy gun. It's not a light gun, but it's certainly not a heavy gun. It's very manageable across all body types. You don't have to be a big guy to be able to work this rifle. Now, as you saw, I ran the gun really, really fast, really, really hard, put a lot of rounds through it, got it really, really hot. This is where I got to come back to this rail. The rail gets hot. The rail picks up a lot of heat because, you know, it's made out of aluminum, so it's gonna retain heat more so than a different medium would. If you're gonna shoot hard and fast, the rail's gonna get hot. So with this particular rail, you're gonna need gloves. It's a minor point because a lot of people wear gloves anyway, but that's just one of the small issues where I was like, you know, I really wish there was some key mod or some modular or some rail space where I could put some rail scales or some other hand protection on there, because I'm not really a big glove guy. All right, so the three greatest features of the Black Rain rifle: the enlarged charging handle, nickel boron bolt, and the 3.5 pound single stage trigger. Why? Well, if you're going to run the gun fast and you're going to run on the higher, I'd say the more realistic, more high stress training, more high stress practice, those three features alone are going to keep the gun in the fight, so to speak. Especially as the gun gets dirty, I think the nickel boron bolt, as everybody seems to be going to them, definitely works great. Plus, Black Rain's tolerances, they do allow for a dirty weapon, but they're not so loose as to affect accuracy, as you've already seen. The trigger, 3.5 pound single stage, stays consistent. Even when the lower starts to collect filth, the trigger just keeps humming right along.
Recoil control is a very important part of accurate, fast shooting. And what I found with the Black Rain is that the recoil pulse is not so great that you have to consciously fight the rifle back on target. It settles well and allows for fast and accurate fire with very minimal muzzle rise.
You'll see in this accuracy test, even when the gun's running hot, it still shoots really, really accurate. I zeroed the rifle after I'd put about 300 rounds through it. Why? Why not? And then I just started running it hard, running it fast. Basically worked it into my own personal practice, because when I come out, I shoot a lot of rounds anyway. And the rifle kept up. I didn't have any issues with it. I didn't find myself not liking it. Well, it's not hot enough to start a fire, but it is hot enough to burn you. Let's see how it groups with a hot barrel. Dun dun dun. All right, in closing, do I recommend the Black Rain rifle? Absolutely. The Black Rain is not an entry-level rifle, the cliche use of the term, entry-level being, you know, some rifle that's off the rack, nothing special about it. Tolerances are okay, and it's mil-spec. This rifle's not mil-spec. It shoots better than mil-spec. Mil-spec accuracy is 4 MOA. This thing shoots sub-MOA. After 2,000 rounds, it was shooting MOA, which is pretty impressive by anybody's standards. Is it the best AR-15 on the market? Not even going to get into that conversation because that's personal preference. Somebody already asked me, well, where does Black Rain fall against other AR-15 manufacturers? My personal belief is they're in the top 10. Everything after that is preference. But if you're in the market for a high-end AR-15, you only want to buy once, you want a rifle that's going to last you years and maybe something you can hand down to your kids, the Black Range should definitely be on your short list of rifles to look at. If you're able to get out and shoot one, definitely do so. You're going to fall in love with the trigger as easily as I did. Highly recommend the Black Rain. They're pretty much nationwide, so it shouldn't be too hard for you to find one. Of course, you can order one online, have it shipped to your FFL. Big thanks to Jared with Black Rain for answering all my questions during this process, and Robbie with Ackworth Guns for arranging the whole thing. I'm Aaron Cowan with Sage Dynamics. Train accordingly. Blah, 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 blah. Sound check. Don't like the wolf, but the wolf likes me. God, this ammo sucks. Man, that's warm.